Welcome to Monday Tsene with Wellifehub Incorporated. My name is Mahoro. Today I'm going to be talking about teen suicide prevention. And you might be asking yourself, how come we are talking about the prevention of teen suicide? I think there are a number of myths around teen suicidality. One being that if somebody wants to terminate their lives, they are going to do it whether we prevent it or not. And that is a myth. And statistically, the leading cause of unnatural death amongst young people and teenagers is one, fatality, and then followed by dying by suicide. And as I was saying, why would we want to prevent it? Because it seems like if somebody has made up their mind, they will do it anyway. I will even hear some parents or caregivers and adults saying, if so-and-so wants to kill themselves, let them go ahead, we'll have a party. But it is not that way. When we can prevent it, when a teenager and even any individual for that matter can have an understanding of what is leading up to that, we are able to prevent it better. A number of months ago, I got a call and I was out of town. It was a father of a teenager who was cutting themselves. And I said to them, well, I'm away, but I can get intervention for that particular teenager. And I assessed the risk in terms of how frequent have they been cutting and what was the cost maybe for their cutting. And the parent could not respond to that because they said that that teenager is unable to disclose what is it that is bothering them. And I said, well, based on the question that I've asked in terms of the frequency, I will really, really recommend that you get them help and they have intervention. Fortunately, there were a number of practitioners at our practice that were available for the next day to see that family. But for this parent, they were prepared to wait for a week for me to see this teenager. And I said, well, you can wait, but you will have to monitor the teenager 24 hours, or we can see them and then say what is the course of action, which can also give you a little bit of peace of mind. And it was very evident that this teenager had lost the will for life because of a number of things that I will not disclose for the sake of the identity. And they were hopeless. And they kept on saying, but I will never be better. You are just wasting your time. And I said to them, well, it's the first time that you are having intervention by professionals. You have never been to this space before. How would you know that you will never get better? I'm not going to say to you that magically we're going to cure you or that you're going to get better, but give the intervention a chance. So this tells me that should this father not have made a call to ask for help, to reach out, this teenager might have thought that it is useless to leave, there is no help out there, and that they are unseen. It was fortunate that this family was able to identify that this child is self-harming and to reach out for that help. So what could possibly happen is that they could then harm themselves unintentionally. So when I say unintentionally, is that we see self-harm as a reach out for help, number one, a cry for help, or even as a form of expressing a deep pain that somebody is feeling. So an individual will be very much in a emotional distress, but because this emotional distress is not tangible, it cannot be seen, what they resort to is harm themselves by self-mutilation or burning themselves maybe with butts of cigarettes or even passing their wrist onto fire, just so that they can feel something, so that they can be evidence for whatever pain that they are feeling. I even have a client who is now an adult, close to their 30s now, who says they can remember that as young as 4 and 5, they used to, just put together a noose and just suspend themselves from the butlers of the window of their houses. And you can just imagine a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old who wanted to then harm themselves or terminate their lives because it was just too much in the household that they had grown up in. What saved this particular person when they were a child is that because they are a child and the parents have got access to this child's room, they will just come in or rock in at any time, and obviously then she will have to undo. But I mean, we have young children as young as 6, as young as 7, as young as 8, as young as 9 and 10, who have died by suicide. So we cannot say that this is an adult issue. It's also affecting young people and teenagers and even children, as much as I'm speaking about teenagers in today's episode. You might be thinking, okay, what do we do with this information? You're feeling overwhelmed. You have seen the signs, or maybe think that the signs are nothing. It's a stage. It's teenagehood. It's adolescence. It's hormones. They will get over it. Some of the telltale signs will be a person being hopeless. They are not talking about the future. Whenever you ask them of future plans, they are quite dodgy and wishy-washy about their future plans. They cannot say, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I am imagining myself in the future being there. So they are very much on the now. And any talks of wanting to not be alive anymore, being, gloomy about life, being very negative about life, thinking that life is not worth it, saying their goodbyes. Sometimes caregivers or adults in the lives of the teenagers think that when somebody says, I am going to kill myself, they are bluffing or they are threatening. I say, any form of saying something and speaking out, it's a cry for help. Yes, it might be that they are looking for attention, but however way, if the child does not get attention in a positive way, they will still get it in a negative way. And it's to say we need to attend as parents. We cannot trivialize the information that we get in to say, no, it will pass. Get help for that teenager. Some of the telltale sign is maybe closing themselves in the room, or even sudden changes in personality where somebody was maybe very quiet as a person, but then all of a sudden. So another myth that I can throw in there is that people who are bubbly, who are out there, who are outspoken, are never feeling suicidal. You can have somebody who's bubbly and yet be planning and thinking about dying. So we need to be direct. And sometimes we think that, and this is also another myth, that when we speak about somebody and we ask, are you thinking of terminating your life? Are you thinking of harming yourself? That we think that we are encouraging them. No, it is not like that. You are actually getting closer to the fact, because if you are saying, what are you thinking? And they say, I'm thinking of terminating my life. And you say, what methods are you thinking of using? And they tell you this and that method. And you're thinking, oh, these are facts. Maybe they tell you, I had another young boy, I think he was 10 or 11 at the time. He said, I went to my grandmother's place. I wanted to terminate my life. I took the bicycle. I went to a cliff. And when I wanted to jump off that cliff, I saw that this cliff is not high enough to terminate my life. I'm just going to be injured. So in that way, and in the session, I asked them, how are you feeling today? Are you having plans? And they say, no, actually, I do not want to end my life. I want what I am feeling to end. And this is why we encourage the conversation around suicidality, because you find that most of the time, and this is very key, if you have not gotten anything from this conversation or this clip that I'm sharing with you, the information that I'm sharing with you, get this one thing. I don't think and I don't believe, from research and from having counseled a number of people on this topic, that anybody wants to terminate their lives. Anybody wants to die and harm their lives. It all comes down to, I want the feeling that I'm feeling to end. I want what I'm going through to end. So at the end of the day, it looks like a solution to die. But if we bring tools, if we bring life skills to be able to cope better with life, you find that the person says, oh, okay, whatever I was feeling and I wanted to die because of what I was feeling, I can be able to tackle it. I can be able to face it. I've got the proper support that I need to be able to face it. And I've got people who are surrounding me, and I've got better skills to be able to deal with my emotions and my distress. So with that, I'm saying that let's not keep quiet. If you know of somebody, be it a friend, be it a loved one, be it somebody that is close to you, or if it's yourself and you've got this overwhelming emotions and you're thinking that it will never end, you can never find a solution. No, you have never tried other solutions and other forms of help. Even if it's chronic and it's long-term and it's existing for a long time, through that support, you can feel hopeful again. You can feel like you can be able to tackle life. With that, this is me, Nkateko Ndala Mahoro, signing out. See you in the next episode.